In this video, I'm building the head for my 7 meter or 23 foot Sharpie. I'm Carl Fuller. I need to find out what area the surfaces are for the panels I'm going to make. I've been measuring up on the boat, but this time I'm going to do some of it from the CAD drawing. So this panel here, for example, to unroll it to make it flat so I can measure it up, put some dimensions on it. Go to surface, go to surface flattening, unroll to a level surface, click yes, and there it is. And I might want to label it like I've labeled this one because these two panels are very similar. So I go to text, put aft on there, change the color to white, move it onto the panel, lock it to the panel by grouping it. Done. So every time I move it around now, that's how it is. So say add 25 millimeters all around the whole thing before I put in some dimensions. I'll put a curve around the outside, curve from objects, duplicate border, there's a line all the way around the outside, make sure it's all joined, join. Then I can go to offset curve, curve 25 millimeters. There we go. Now I can put some dimensions in. Okay, you can see I've added some dimensions here for the actual size according to the CAD drawing. The boat may be a little bit different because these radiuses, for example, will probably be a bit different. Before I got the glass on, these top sides were moving a little bit with the humidity changes, so I couldn't fully trust the CAD dimensions, as happened with Rand Sailing. I see that he didn't want to cut out his panels according to the CAD drawings until he was really sure that they were matching up, and it worked out for him. They did. There are two of these panels that look very much the same, is because this one, which is the forward end of the starboard quarter berth, I've decided that's where my electrics will be going. I've been watching the 580 class, and that was kind of a pretty common place to put the electrics in a small boat, and have a hinged clear door. My Victron gear can go in behind it. I can see what's going on with the LED indicators on the panels. It'll keep the humidity down in there, and I'll probably also have my 12 volt DC panel up and down here somewhere. There'll be a vent going through the bottom, through the head, which is common practice for a composting toilet and a yacht, to have an extraction fan pulling out the air and sending it overboard somewhere. So that's where I'm up to. I've just got to get all these dimensions in, and then I can head off to the boat and start ripping some boards, dressing them, gluing them, dressing them, sanding them, and cutting out these panels and getting them into the boat. So here's the final drawing of all the boards I've got to cut to make up these panels. Quite a few dimensions involved. On my way to the shed, I walked past this little garden, and these pumpkins and tomatoes have popped up out of the seeds in the compost. Bumblebees are very industrious. 2 in 1 flower. These guys look like they're asleep on the job. Those bumblebees got to work before I did. So here I am thicknessing the planks after gluing them together after ripping the boards from the bigger planks. It's a lot of gluing, but the way I do it makes it go fairly quick really. It's day 2 of making the head panels. It's going really well. The next phase is to sand all the glue joints. So then I'll be 2 boards wide. Then I'll put them through the thicknesser. And then I'll do the final glue on the bench here. Sorry about the sound effects. It's really windy out. Finished glassing on one side. It's day 4 of building the head, and a big part of that of course is building all the panels, which I've pretty much made them all now. They just need trimming up after I make patterns, and they've gone quite well. I was having a think about it while I was building them, and I think you could easily say that this boat has probably taken twice as long to build because I'm not using plywood. I'm using Paulownia for everything pretty much, and so having to join the boards to make these panels has been a bit of a mission. Don't regret it. I'm going to like the end result. It's going to be lighter than plywood in some respects. You can see a little bit of staining on some of those panels. This is the second side I glassed, so you won't see those stains. They'll be on the inside of things pretty much, but it is a bit disappointing that there's some water staining on the timber, which because of the way it was stored before I bought it. You might have noticed that when I'm on both sides doing the glassing, when it's going off, I clamp the sheets down, and that's because this timber moves quite a bit with humidity. For example, there's a bit of a storm outside today. Humidity is fairly high, so that would have caused a reasonable amount of movement, and you don't want to put the glass on and stabilize something that's not flat. So that's why on this bench, which has worked out really well, I clamp things down to make them really flat when both sides have been fully resined, and it works. good progress on the head. The bulkheads are in. There's another bulkhead to go here. There'll be a little shelf here, which also will work as somewhere where you can hang on to. I've got a few more parts on the bench already made up, ready to go, but I've got to wait for this corner coving to go off before I can continue with those. The two head buckets will be here, one for number ones, one for number twos. It's probably a bit of an unusual setup, but that's just how I've decided to make it up. And in the next video, part 2, I'll be making the seats and the covers, and not that much to do really in the big picture. Thanks for watching.